welcome, and today we'll be playing as the glorious Sablin. If you haven't seen the last episode, I would recommend seeing it if you want to see kind of how I got to this point. If you don't, then, well, you can just continue watching. The last episode is going to contain a decent part of it where it's just Omsk, but once you get to about the 8-minute mark, I switch over to glorious Sablin. Besides that, we're going to start invading these states around us because we just got to that part of our focus tree, and I feel like we should start soon as they just finished a war, and it's probably best to do it while they're still kind of beaten down by the wars, since there used to be a third state here, but they were all kind of fighting the third state, and so they should be worn down from that war, and we should probably start invading soon for the best results. I'm going to end the episode off here. If you thought this video was good, then please like and subscribe, and one thing of note, if you thought that if you want to see more of Buritaya and Valerie Sablin, then say down in the comment section. Say down in the comment section if you don't. So that's all, and I hope to see you next time, and bye. So the state of Magadan and Cheetah have gone to war. This works out really well in our favor, because we're just going to go invade Cheetah, invade them, and then we're going to hop into invading Magadan, which should make it easier, as Cheetah is going to be distracted with invading Magadan, so we can just pretty much walk right in their capital. They'll capitulate, and then we can move on to the next part of our focus tree, which will be invading Magadan, and then we'll head up to the Divine Mandate of Siberia and invade them next. So we have invaded Cheetah. It wasn't very hard. I just kind of did the thing I said I would do and walked right in their capital. And so we're just going to go ahead and move on straight to Magadan and then, to the Divine Mandate of Siberia, and I'm pretty sure we'll get a focus at some point to also invade Yakutia. So we have declared war on Magadan. It shouldn't be a big issue to invade them, as at most, according to their estimations, they have the world's kind of exploding, so yeah. We're gonna have to deal with this, but yeah. So we are invading Magadan, and they have at most 5 divisions. I see 3, so that could be all they have. And the only real issue being is that their capital is way over here, so it's gonna take a while for us to walk all the way over here compared to Cheetah, who put their capital in a really nice place, which is right next to my border. So Magadan has been successfully invaded. All I really did is just take this one. I just took this one little city right here, and that was about 70% of their capitulation. So, yeah, so there's a focus I can do that would make us declare war on Yakutia, but I'm going to use Yakutia to my advantage, because they're going to act as a bit of a way for me to kind of block off the Divine Mandate of Siberia, because they're going to invade me soon, and so I'm just going to kind of use them so I can have a smaller front with the Divine Mandate of Siberia, and also because they will declare war on them too, and their divisions can be used against them, which will prove to be very useful to us in the end. The Divine Mandate of Siberia has declared war on us, which is very rude of them, but it does not matter, as we will be able to just invade them, and yeah, we can invade them pretty easily, as they have less troops than us, no factories, and whilst their manpower is more each month, that we add about the same amount of manpower that they have in manpower total. So, overall an easy war, and after that I'll just invade Yakutia, which should be really easy, as all I need to do is through a war with through the focus tree, and they have 2 divisions total, so I can pretty much just walk into their capital. So the Divine Mandate of Siberia has very rudely decided to go pop up in my country uninvited. So, very rude of them. Doesn't matter, as, these troops are going to be super easy to, take out, because they're already encircled, and I think it'll actually be a positive for us, as it might eat away at their manpower whenever these troops start getting casualties. So, yeah, don't know why they've decided to go rudely show up in my country without my invitation, but either way, it's kind of a present for me in a way. So Yakutia has capitulated. Well, definitely an issue. It's not the biggest, as I kind of expected them to fall. So that's kind of what I planned for with my new front line, which I made pretty much immediately. So it's not great. It's not the biggest issue, as it has unified our front line in the process. But now I kind of have to deal with this. We have to deal with a larger front with the Divine Mandate of Siberia. So at the moment it looks like they're about they're like almost halfway to being capitulated, but I don't think this is really going to affect them by me take. Yeah, it's not, but we just need to take like small little settlements, and that should eventually capitulate them. So we have unified Eastern Siberia. Their army kind of melted away towards the end of it, since, well, half of it was trapped over here, and so only 2 divisions were left to pretty much, well, defend where their major settlements were. So, yeah, well, now it is time for unification of Eastern Siberia. And there it is, the Far Eastern Soviet Republic. And now I can move on to, our next targets for unification, which is Central Siberia and then Western Russia, because usually by that time this area will have also unified from the 2 states that are going to unify this region. But now it's time to kind of build up and prepare for war with more larger states that are wanting to unify all of Russia. So the trial of Alexander has been completed, meaning that we have tried the leader of the Divine Mandate of Siberia. So he's been sentenced to 2 years and 6 months in rehabilitative labor services, and with that focus out of the way, that completes the second to final focus. That will then give us the final focus, which I believe will move us on to the new focus tree for, well, the Far Eastern Soviet Republic. And with that, we can move on to, well, our next focus, which is the central, which is whatever Central Siberia is going to be unified under. So, the Siberian Workers' Federation has risen up against the Central Siberian Federation, and looking at their troop count, it seems that they're going to win the Civil War. So, yeah, pretty good, because they're also libertarian socialists, and I think that's going to give us the ability to, at some point, have some sort of diplomatic annexation, which would make, well, unifying much easier. And also, I hope they'll get their troops in the process of unifying with them diplomatically. So the Siberian Workers' Federation has won their civil war, and I don't know what this is really going to mean for us. Hopefully it's going to mean that we have some sort of option for diplomatic annexation, as that can happen, because there are certain states that can just unify peacefully, and I'm hoping that will happen with the Siberian Workers' Federation. But overall, I think that this is good news for us. The worst case scenario is, however, that since they had more troops than the Siberian Federation, they will be a bigger threat if we do have to invade them. So hopefully we can diplomatically annex them, however. If not, then that is definitely going to be an issue for us to deal with. So I was looking over at Central Siberia, and I noticed something. And it's that the Siberian Workers' Federation is breaking apart. An authoritarian socialist country has popped out. Another libertarian socialist country has popped out. And so I'm kind of concerned that we won't be able to unify with them all if that was an option, because they might just completely implode into like 50 different states. So definitely an issue I was not expecting to happen. So Central Siberia has unified under the Ural Military District, and I'm hoping that the Ural Military District and the West Russian Revolutionary Front will have a hard time invading each other, which should make it easier for us to invade the victor of this war. And it'll be pretty easy to invade Central Siberia as they have collapsed. So we can... I don't know how this will work invading Central Siberia, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a way for us to invade them. And then it'll give us way more time, as they're all much weaker as a result of collapsing. So we'll just invade Central Siberia, and then we'll have to fight the victor over here, or at least I believe that's how it's going to play out. I've never actually gotten that far with unifying Russia before. So just a quick status update on what's been going on in the world and in the Far Eastern Soviet Republic. Well, I've kind of had to go down a bit of an authoritarian socialist path, but it wasn't enough to change the ideologies. I just really needed the military factories, because we need them really badly, as there's a big gap in between the amount of military factories we have and the military factories of the other unifying states, except for Central Siberia, as Central Siberia has collapsed. So the gap has been closed a bit, but it's still not great, and we still have shortages on equipment. I'm currently working on artillery. There was one for infantry equipment, and after that I'll probably work on support equipment and improved anti-tank. But besides that, things are looking up for us, and internationally not a lot has happened. So overall there have been some good developments since I've last recorded. I'm going to end the episode off here. If you thought this video was good, then please like and subscribe. And one thing of note, if you thought that if you want to see more of Veritaya and Valerie Sablin, then say down in the comment section. Say down in the comment section if you don't. So that's all, and I hope to see you next time, and bye.